What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we're going to talk about solidarity again. Solidarity again. An incident happened on Monday Night Football, and it reminded me of a incident that happened on July 25th of last year on one of our construction sites here at Local 26. I'll show you how those two events tie together. Both in what happened and how each prospective working group handled it. All right, before we get into all that, hit the like button, subscribe button, ring the notification bell, drop some comments, share the video, help a brother out. All right, let's get into it. This is a CBS report on the NFL. Bills' Damar Hamlin suffers cardiac arrest on field versus the Bengals. Family releases statement. Safety and fighting. A scary and emotional scene unfolded early during Monday night's game between the Bills and Bengals. With 5:58 remaining in the first quarter, Bills safety Damar Hamlin collapsed after rising to his feet following a tackle of Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. After making the tackle, Hamlin stood up, only to suddenly fall to the ground. He received immediate medical attention on the field and was transported to the UC Medical Center in Cincinnati. Hamlin, 24, suffered a cardiac arrest following the hit with his heartbeat restored on the field. The Bills announced in a statement early Tuesday morning. The team further divulged that Hamlin is sedated and listed in critical condition. Monday Night Football between Buffalo and Cincinnati was officially postponed by the NFL shortly after 10 p.m. Eastern. The league released the following statement. Tonight's Buffalo Bills-Cincinnati Bengals game has been postponed after Buffalo Bills' Damar Hamlin collapsed, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced. Let's all send some prayers up for Damar Hamlin. Hope for him to have a 100% recovery. Hate to see anybody working for a living to have something so traumatic happen to them. It's unconscionable, and I hope he gets better. Hamlin received immediate medical attention on the field by team and independent medical staff and local paramedics. He was then transported to a local hospital where he is in critical condition. Our thoughts are with Damar and the Buffalo Bills. We will provide more information as it becomes available. The NFL has been in constant communication with the NFL Players Association, which is in agreement with postponing the game. Now, understand something. They didn't just postpone the game. The players refused to continue playing. Once the players refused to continue playing, the only natural thing to do would be to postpone the game. Kind of can't play the game without the players. And I'm sure that the coaches understood the vibe of both teams and understood how traumatic an experience this was to witness a fellow worker falling on the job under duress, cardiac arrest, resuscitation, and all the dramatics that come along with it, transporting away from the job site to go to the hospital. Of course you don't finish that game. That's unconscionable. But it was the players, I'm certain, that drove the NFL to postpone that game. Hamlin received CPR on the field for several minutes while being placed on a stretcher and eventually into an ambulance. He was given oxygen upon entering the ambulance, which transported him and some family members to the hospital. Tuesday morning, family spokesperson Jordan Rooney provided an update on Hamlin. I can't speak specifically on his medical condition. All I'll say is he's fighting. He's a fighter. The family's in good spirits. We're honestly just taking it minute by minute, hour by hour. What's most important is to give the family their privacy. His family is going through a lot right now. Hamlin's family issued the following press release late Tuesday morning. On behalf of our family, we want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time. We are deeply moved by the prayers, kind words, and donations from fans around the country. We also want to acknowledge the dedicated first responders and healthcare professionals at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center who have provided exceptional care to Damar. We feel so blessed to be a part of the Buffalo Bills organization and to have their support. We also want to thank Coach Taylor and the Bengals for everything they've done. Your generosity and compassion mean the world to us. Please keep Damar in your prayers. We will release updates as soon as we have them. Monday's game was temporarily suspended after coaches Sean McDermott of the Bills and Zach Taylor of the Bengals spoke on the field about an hour later. About an hour later, the NFL decides to postpone the game. It chose not to address a potential rescheduling of the game in a media call late Monday night. That decision will ultimately rest in the hands of the commissioner. The Bills decided to fly back to Buffalo early Tuesday morning. Numerous members of the Bills and Bengals visited the hospital on Monday night. On Tuesday afternoon, the Bills released the following statement. Damar Hamlin spent the night in the intensive care unit and remains there today in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. We are grateful and thankful for the outpouring of support we have received thus far. Around 11:30 on Monday, Hamlin's agent, Ira Turner, provided a statement to NFL media. Please continue to pray for Damar and his family. We currently have no update at this time. We'll ask you to keep the family in your prayers. The article goes on, but the gist of it and the reason that I even bring it up is that these players decided not to play, and they stood in solidarity with each other and with their fallen comrade, and they refused to play. Now, why do I bring this up? Because we had a similar situation. July 25th of 2022, we had a brother, William Campbell, rest in peace. He had a heart attack at the start of the day on the job site. CPR, dramatic situation in front of everybody. They were at the safety stand down meeting. It was at the start of the meeting, so everybody's in that room. Wheeled out of there. No AED available. He didn't make it. But all of those workers in that room that were in distress, that witnessed that traumatic event, they were tasked to go back to work. And they didn't feel I don't know if they didn't feel brave enough. I don't know if they didn't feel compelled enough, but they went back to work. They didn't stand down and say, no, it's ridiculous to ask us to go back to work after something like that just happened. I guess it's just because we're construction workers, so we're supposed to be tougher than that. We're supposed to be harder than that. That's not the truth, though. The truth is they just don't care about us. And in turn, since we're shown this, we lack the ability and the know-how to care for each other. It didn't used to be like this. We had real solidarity in the beginning of the labor movement up to its peak. We had an amazing amount of solidarity, and that's how we were able to change working life for the public. Because you got to remember, the public reaped every benefit that unions fought for. They got the 8-hour day. They got the weekend. They got vacation time. They got health care. They got workers' comp. They got OSHA standards too. How did all of that come about? Solidarity. Workers fighting for it in unions. The NFL showed, those players showed real solidarity. They were hurting for their brother. They were crying for their brother. They were in distress for him. So much so that they refused to go back to work. And the NFL has AEDs in the stadium. They had the paramedics there and everything. They did a great job responding to the incident. But since then, what has happened with the AEDs? Let's see. Happened July 25th. The following month, we at the meeting, it was spoken about, and it was mentioned that a conversation was beginning with our NICA partners. That's what was told to the membership. That was in August. Have you heard a peep about it since? I haven't. I asked around. Nobody had heard a peep about whatever happened to that conversation. We started a conversation. I guess we didn't finish it. Maybe it's on the back burner. Maybe it doesn't matter. Some contractors will provide AEDs, no questions asked, and they will do it because it's the right thing to do. Other contractors will not. But what's the point of being in a union if every contractor isn't required to provide the same stuff according to your contract? According to how we do things. How is it that conditions can vary from job site to job site and no one's the wiser? How is that? How does that happen? You got to start asking yourself some real questions. This is contract year, boys and girls. This is contract year. You know what that means? We're going to need to let these elected representatives know what it is we're expecting out of this next negotiation. Because if we don't, we'll have another milquetoast contract. And you'll complain about that one once you vote yes for it because they tell you to.